Welcome back, and thanks for joining me today. So I want to talk to you about two fundamental concepts that will really help you evolve and grow. Let go of archaic beliefs and ego tricks, things that keep us stuck, and be able to really evolve and come into your own deeper internal wisdom function to figure stuff out that brings us ease. It takes us out of doubt, self-doubt, fear, and it allows us to come out of that general malaise. This whole system, this hierarchy, this matrix that we live in, there's just like this general malaise that we can't really put our finger on, that we're like, this is a system that's set up for us, but I don't feel like I either fit into that system or that system's broken. It's filled with a bunch of lies. Good, bad, right, wrong. Do this, don't do that. You're a good girl, you're a bad person. All those lies are packaged up and spoon-fed to you. And they were spoon-fed to your parents and your grandparents, and it's happened for generations down the line. At some point, your grandparents or your great-grandparents or your parents, or maybe even you, decided, I'm going to trade in this innate, natural state of joy and wisdom for collection of beliefs, for collections of philosophies, because I think those are going to plug in the holes, and those are going to answer my questions, and those are going to fulfill this deep, innate drive that we all have for wisdom, for internal, deeper wisdom states. And then we go along. Once we've incorporated all those beliefs, I'm this religion, I'm this political affiliation, I believe this about money, I have this philosophy about this, and I'm a teacher, and I'm a wife, and I'm a this, and I'm a that, and we pick up all these labels and belief systems, and then we package them up into this big package of who I am, who Anita is. I'm all these things, and then I tell my ego, which used to be just a thing designed for fight or flight to kick in once in a while to protect us, I don't want you to do that anymore because I don't have to dodge lions and tigers and bears, fight or flight. I want you to now protect this whole egoic structure, this whole I, me structure. I want you to protect all of these labels and all of these lies that I've taken on that I think are who I am. And so our ego, which is the second component I want to talk to you about today, is this thing that's become huge and nuanced and tricky, and we don't even realize that is a theory that I think is true, and then your ego envelops it in, and it's like, oh, well, when that topic comes up, we know that whatever else is said to us, no, this is true. This is the theory I believe. You believe in that theory, I believe in this theory. Nope, protect this one, protect this one, protect this one. Defend this one, defend this one, defend this. So whenever we take on somebody else's belief system or ideology, or we give ourselves a label or a mask or a name or a face to wear, to put on, the process of life, evolution, growth, development really does get stifled. It dies. It stops right there. When we take on all these beliefs, we feel like it's going to fill up. It's going to tap into that deeper wisdom function. But when we borrow those and take them in, there's some part of us that knows a little bit that it's a lie. And that's what causes the general malaise or fear or anxiety or depression. So instead of coming into this place of deeper wisdom function, we're like surface level functioning up here, like, oh, I've got it figured out, you're teetering, like, this is my belief, and I think it's probably pretty true, my parents believed it, people tell me it's a good thing to believe, but you never really feel confident about it. So the fear slips in, the agitation slips in, the frustration, the general malaise slips in about it, because there's always this little question of doubt in the back of your mind. But is it really true? Did you really spend the time questioning it? Why is that good? Why is that bad? Why is that right? Why is that wrong? Why? You never tapped in and allowed your self-efficacy to rise to the surface and go, wait a minute, why? So when you're playing in a place of deeper wisdom function, you are coming from this baseline of not fear, not scarcity, not lack, not doubt, but confidence and inquiry and comfortableness with the unknown. You can now sit comfortably in a place in equanimity with don't know mind, with the unknown. And it starts with, we've got to lay down those beliefs, allow ourselves to lay them down, allow ourselves to get comfortable in the place of don't know mind, inquiry, self-inquiry. This is the scientist's mind. This is the 5-year-old filled with whimsy and wonder and experimentation and excitement and creativity, and coming into all of those types of deeper wisdom function and being comfortable with saying, I don't know what the answer is. I don't know if that's really true until I question, doubt, inquire, get creative with that topic. Look at it from not just your lens, but this lens and that lens and this lens and my lens. And I run all those lenses through my own lens. And I come up with my own deeper connection to wisdom. And to always be knowing that that changes. So even if I've done the work and I feel like I have a deeper internal wisdom and knowledge about that topic, it's always open for a change of interpretation. It's always open for new knowledge to come in and to augment or supplement it or to change it or to push it in this direction or that direction. And we are such creatures of we don't like change. We like habit. We like trajectory. We like to know where we're going. We like to package that idea up and to know that's our belief and we're done with that and we figured that out. And so it's so hard for us to just surrender into that place of deeper wisdom and deeper knowledge function. But when we can do it, we realize it's actually our own innate, organic, natural place to be with wisdom function. And that's where we will be the most wise, where we actually will have access to deeper wisdom and knowledge. But it's hard because we've taken on other people's beliefs and we taught our ego to protect them. So I'm going to have to what? I have to let go of all of that false belief, all that borrowed knowledge, all of that. Okay. And I have to retrain my ego from protecting it. That's like a huge deconstruction for most people, and they say, I don't even want to go there. This is great. I'm going to believe in this religion or this political belief system, and it looks pretty good, and that seems like a lot of work. And I'm going to put my blind faith in this, and I'm okay. I don't want to do the work. I don't want to go there. To swallow that pill, to be able to wake up from that matrix, to wake up from that good, bad, right, wrong, all those lies, those built-in, packed-in lies, those belief systems that are packed in, built-in with lies and borrowed knowledge and just generationally accepted without being questioned kinds of beliefs. So how do we do this? We've really got to understand as we go through this process that we're doing 3 things. We're laying down a belief system that we've taken on somebody else's that's not ours. And we've got to retrain and over tell our ego every time it comes up to protect that belief system, because that's what our ego does, to go, nope, we're really actually looking at this. We're really inquiring. So lay down, put your tentacles down, drop your hypervigilance down, and feel. Question. Do the research. Formulate your own answers. And allow your self-efficacy. That self-efficacy is the belief that you have the ability to come into this deeper wisdom state, to figure this stuff out for yourself. And to know that that deeper wisdom function is like this nebulous kind of process that's never complete. It's never packaged up for us. And that's okay, because then it never ties to us. It can continue to evolve and to grow. We know partly our systems are broken because they're archaic. They're no longer working for us, right? But yet we hold on to them. So I want to give you some really practical skills at getting at the ego. So our ego is tricky and nuanced. Our ego is a mechanism that gets triggered to go, I want to self-preserve, self-preserve, self-preserve. So we need to start being able to find processes, practices, yoga, meditation, mindfulness, practices that allow us to get into our sensory system so we can feel physiologically that sensation of, oh, that's my ego, or oh, that's fear that this person's going to try to get me to change my mind, or oh, that's doubt about this, all these things come up. And we need to feel them coming up and be able to really sit with them and go, where is that coming from? What is the root? Because we're up here at the rudimentary stage with protecting these belief systems and borrowed knowledge and lies and bullshit. But we need to get down here at the tiny little sensation that comes up before the fear arises, before the doubt arises, before the I'm going to come up and protect this belief arises. And so that's where practices of meditation and mindfulness and just self-inquiry, of learning to Byron Katie that question, do the work about questioning those thoughts, feeling the sensations, questioning those sensations, being able to sit with fear and doubt and worry and anxiety and all those things and just feel them come up and out and feel them and sit with them in equanimity. That's another component of all these practices, that they teach us how to sit equanimously with them, to just allow yourself to sit with the sensation without reacting, without having the ego come to the forefront. So you have that little bit of pre-processing power to go, wait a minute. Remember, we're starting to change the trajectory. We're laying down the beliefs. We're coming into a deeper state of knowledge. We're learning to rebuild and reprocess. And so we give ourselves that time to sit back and go, okay, we're changing the gestalt, putting a new system online. So find processes that you can envelop and incorporate into your life that get you to just start fucking looking at this topic. Just start feeling it, seeing it, questioning it, doubting it. And every time you do that, your ego is going to pop up in the back, and it's going to trigger fear and doubt and worry and, oh, don't go there. You got it all figured out. Why are we going here? This is a waste of time. You got better things to do. That's scary. That's nonsense. That's bullshit. Blah, 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 all those things. Listen to that too, and inquire about those thoughts too. When you come across a topic that you're like, this is important, I want to spend some time and inquire about it, you first look at it and go, okay, I'd like to see this for the truth of what it is, and I'd like to maybe change this habit pattern, and I'd like to maybe start to think about how I really process it and what's really going on. So the first step is recognizing it, and just see it and laugh at it. And then have a sense of humor and have a sense of self-love, because you are going to shit the bed over and over, and you are going to be triggered. You're coming out of these deep ruts or grooves or sankharas, and they're coming to the surface, and you're pushing and pulling and poking them and seeing them. You're flipping the mirror in your own face, and so that's a hard thing to do. So you got to have a sense of fucking humor, or you're never going to get you're going to take yourself way too seriously, and your ego's going to shut this whole process down before you even start. So you have to have a sense of self-love, of like, okay, I am a sloppy human being, and we all make mistakes, and this is a sloppy process, and it's a beautiful one, and just see the beauty in it and laugh at your ego and have a sense of fucking humor about it. And the other thing, I study Stephen Kotler and Jamie Will, they talk about flow states, and they were talking in a video I was watching one time, and it was just so cool about the ego state. They're studying the ego. When the ego mechanism gets tripped on and turned on in the brain, it's like a whole city. It's like our ego, I told you, is tricky and nuanced. It's like the whole city lights up. All these neurons start firing, and all these synapses and connections in the brain start connecting, and it's like this whole city lit up at night. But what they found is it just takes one little entry point to shut down the ego, to shut down the city, to just go, wait a minute, time out, lights out. Then we can have that moment of mindfulness or meditation or self-inquiry, true self-inquiry, deeper wisdom state, rise up to the surface. And what I found does that for me the quickest, and just gets in there and hits that turn off the ego button switch, is a moment of pure, authentic gratitude for something simple like, I have a roof over my head. I have running water. I have electricity. And that's pretty profound and amazing. Finding a moment of gratitude just shuts ego right down. So find different ways that you can connect to, see ego, laugh at it, play with it, banter back and forth with it, and get to love it and know it, and not think of it as good or bad or right or wrong. That's just going back into that old cycle. So I hope this helps you on your journey of going a little deeper into change and being comfortable with change and being comfortable with deep states of wisdom and the unknown, because this is where the growth process happens. This is where the goods are. This is where the root is. Let's get down at the root instead of playing around at, picking the fruit off the tree and trimming the tree down and pruning the tree down. We got to get at the root. It's the seed that grew the tree. And every year and every season that tree will keep multiplying. So we want to get down deep at the root level, because if we can get there, it's like shutting down the whole ego. Wait a minute. We can do that. Quick, easy, simple entry point. So thanks for joining me today, you guys. Namaste.